What We Are, a Sacred Odyssey, on the Enlightened Society podcast. This is the first in a new series called A Sacred Odyssey. A Sacred Odyssey is meant to be a new genre. It's not a talk, or a lecture, or a sermon, but has some overlapping qualities. It's most like a guided mindfulness session, but with a unique style. The purpose of this session, entitled What We Are, is to help us see that we are far more than we think we are. This realization can have a tremendous impact on our daily lives. By helping us to see that we are divine beings, that are more worthy to ourselves and others than we ever considered. The ideas that follow are well known and couldn't be more obvious or rational. The effectiveness and value really depends on your mindset and your setting, or your intention and environment. Intention and environment is what separates the sacred from the mundane. In meditation, or prayer, and in a cathedral, or temple, or under a Bodhi tree. Intention is so powerful that it commands our body to move without even a thought, such as our eye to focus on a star, or our hand to touch an orange. Environment is important even into advanced levels of consciousness. It affects whether reality seems banal or profound to us. Please prepare the following items and then return. Find a comfortable position, either seated or laying down. Find a quiet space without any disturbances. Limit the sounds to just this recording. It's best to have quality speakers or headphones. It's helpful to have a pleasant smell in the air, either by heating some oils or sage or something similar. Finally, have some water or tea or juice nearby. To get the most out of this, please make sure that your mindset and setting is fitting before continuing. Now that you're in a comfortable, calm, quiet space, we will continue. The goal here is to visualize what's being said, rather than to think about it. visualize it as if it were happening now, because it is. If you find yourself thinking, allow yourself to analyze and rationalize later. Keep reminding yourself as often as necessary that the goal is to visualize. It'll help to listen to this on several different occasions, or even a few times during one sitting. It's meant to be listened to many times and will be helpful for all levels. Again, the value of this is in your visualization of this occurring now. The first stage is to transition beyond our ordinary surface level of consciousness. Let's begin by closing our eyes. The main reason we close our eyes is because the visual sense overwhelms our brains with tremendous amounts of data that must be processed, which makes it difficult to be aware of the deeper, more subtle consciousness and the broader reality that we are a part of. In addition, it makes it difficult to notice our thoughts and our other senses. The visual sense also gives the impression of permanence, because the physical world changes so slowly relative to other phenomena that emerges and disappears quickly, like sound. While this feels safe and comfortable and predictable, it also hides the ever-changing nature of reality. Simply by shutting our eyelids, we allow for a more profound reality to emerge. Let's turn our attention to the deeper reality that we are a part of, here and now. What we are involved in right now is not ordinary. Being alive with countless other beings who have evolved on a rock, hurtling through endless space around a giant fireball, one of trillions upon trillions. Everything composed of just as many tiny packets of energy called atoms, all within a spectrum of forces. An infinite complexity. And our species is waking up to this scenario. This whole thing is not ordinary. And I want to illustrate this from the outset in a stark manner, so that we can contrast that broader reality with our own common and ordinary one. This disparity is vital to notice. You know how you exist? That there is existence? You know how you're rarely, if ever, astonished and mesmerized by that? You know how it seems like you should be? We have almost entirely lost the ability to have these experiences. Or put another way, maybe we're just beginning to learn how to do it right. Our lives and society are largely structured to prevent awe and wonder. Our modern reality is largely conceptual. We are lost in our minds, and we mistake our concepts for the only reality. The result is that we see life as ordinary, mundane, and banal. The experience of awe and wonder is the most important experience to have, and it enriches all other experiences. It's vital that we regularly take time to notice and experience the deeper and broader reality that we are immersed in. And that's what we're here to do. Have you ever noticed that you look different when looking into different mirrors? That's largely due to the light differences alone. If you try to figure out how you really look, you can't, because there's no such thing. Because what you look like is dependent on the instruments used, our eyes, the light source, etc. You appear different when using infrared, ultraviolet, X-ray, gamma ray, etc. Likewise, what you are is not one thing. It depends on what instruments you use to measure and interpret. And you're always changing. Likewise, where you are and when you are is not one thing. That also depends on reference points, which are subject to relativity. In actuality, in reality, who we are, what we are the sum total of all the possibilities, known and unknown. The sum total is infinite. You are, in fact, an infinite being, and therefore a divine being. Let's begin by noticing what we are not. We are not what we think we are. We are beyond our words, symbols, and concepts. Language and concepts are useful tools. Beyond that, they distort reality. We are not who our IDs and business cards say we are. Our names and titles are helpful concepts. Beyond that, they distort reality. We think of ourselves as human beings, as animals, made of cells, organs, senses. But these are words, and we are far beyond even what the words signify. We are beyond our relations, our history, our memories, our ideas, our knowledge base. Let's look at a few examples. My clock says 1 p.m., and my calendar says June 25th, 2017. This is not 1 p.m. It's not Sunday. It's not June. It's not 2017. Time is a useful way to divide our days. And our days are just the earth rotating. And years are just this rock rotating around the giant fireball in the sky. We mistake our concepts for reality. Time is a useful concept. Beyond that, it distorts reality. It would also seem that I am inside of a building, in a city, in a state, in a country, on a continent, on the earth, near the sun, in a galaxy, in the universe. Location is a useful way to divide space. Inside is a useful concept, just like the city, state, country, planet, solar system, galaxy, and universe. The concepts are not reality, but we usually mistake them for the only reality. Now that we have described what we're not and have transitioned beyond our ordinary level of consciousness, let's go deeper to explore what we actually are. What we are, quite simply, is being. Being itself. Not the word, but the actuality of it, the activity of it. Now. Being now. At this stage, I'm not referring to us as individual beings having an experience, but I'm referring to being itself. We are a part of that. We are being now. That there is being at all. That there is now. We are that. Have always been. Will always be. Always now. Being. Infinite. Eternal. Being. Now. What's vital to focus on is being itself, not thinking about being, but the direct experience of being. The full grasping of this is enlightenment. This is the miracle, but the miracle depends on our consciousness to recognize it, and our consciousness is still in its infancy. This leads us to our individual being, the kind of being that we currently are. This is of secondary importance for enlightenment, but since it's required for enlightenment itself, it's still absolutely fundamental. In total, what we are processes, interchanges, forms of energy, layers, all parts of the infinite spectrum, which includes emptiness, stillness, and silence. We are processes, not the word processes, but processes themselves right now. The process of thinking, the process of breathing. We are a series of processes. The processes of atoms, countless energy packets, coming and going, connected to each other. When you look out, you see atoms, or rather lights reflected on them. You are atoms, right now. You are atoms, being. We are the process of molecules, groups of atoms, arranged in patterns, being created, changing. We are breathing molecules right now. We are the process of cells, trillions of them, each one its own being, with a complex life, full of its own processes and events, with an entire ancestry going back to the first cells billions of years ago, constantly working, regenerating, reproducing. For the most part, we are all new cells every few months. We are brain cells, communicating, blood cells traveling, skin cells regenerating, heart cells pumping, and 100 other types of cells performing some crucial role to keep us alive. We are the process of organs. Cells have learned to work together to form organs, each with a complex role that has emerged and adapted for hundreds of millions of years in countless individuals and species. Inside us now, they all work together to form our body processes, like thinking, breathing, growing, cleaning, repairing, expelling, being, now. They are us as much as we are them, all being now. Notice yourself thinking. That is them being. Notice yourself breathing. That is them being now. We are energy processes. When we breathe in energy in the form of oxygen, which works with cells that we have eaten and broken down into packets of energy called amino acids. We are chemical energy, thermal energy, electrical energy. We see radiant energy. We feel gravitational energy. We hear sound energy. We use mechanical energy. We are interchanges, interactions, always intermixing. Our cells are constantly growing and shedding, millions every day. Our atoms are constantly flowing into us and out of us, trillions every second. We are unfolding processes. We are descendants of 4 billion years of DNA. We are descendants of 200 million years of mammals surviving and giving birth, generation after generation. We are descendants of 4 million years of humans adapting to environments, learning, imagining, creating, teaching. We are a multi-sensory apparatus, each sense evolving for hundreds of millions of years. We sense light, sound, smell, touch, taste. We also sense temperature, balance, position, pain, and many other internal senses. We are the process of consciousness, like a multi-sensory camera, with focus, narrow and wide lenses, advanced settings, with intricate electronics and software. But we are without an instruction manual, so we can barely understand, appreciate, or use this amazing instrument on the level that it deserves. Our ability to use our consciousness is like monkeys fumbling around in the dark with a camera. Our consciousness is like a multi-sensory computer with an operating system that's mostly automatic, and the software is constantly upgrading, changing settings, with different applications being run and closed with little warning. And the operating system is trying to figure itself out during this entire process. Who we are is beyond our concepts, like identity, like being, like soul, like human, animal, life. We are who we came from. We are who we can become. Remember who you are by creating who you are. Use your tools, find their limitations, create new ones. We are being now. When we are is now. We are beyond time. We have always been now. It has always been now. Eternity is now. We are ancient. Nature is ancient. Existence is ancient. Out of the infinity of space and time, here we are, the eternal now. Right now is the miracle of all miracles, whether we have the consciousness to grasp that or not. Where we are is here. We have always been here. We will always be here. Here is infinite. We are beyond our location. We are beyond dimensional space. We just sense this part of the spectrum. We come from silence and emptiness and beyond. Out of the infinity of space and time, here we are. An ocean wave asks, "Where have I come from? Where am I going?" The ocean wave doesn't know that it's a process, an infinite and eternal process. Why we are and how we are is the same question. Existence, being, could not be otherwise. It's intrinsic. It's primary. Life was inevitable. Consciousness was inevitable. Our purpose is to discover what we are, to become enlightened. Our purpose is to discover the miracle of now. Everything we're involved in is always new. It's always fresh. It has never been here in the history of humanity or the cosmos. Everything is always new. The noise of a buzzer, wind brushing through the leaves, a baby crying. This moment is always new. Everything right now is the latest incarnation of ancient processes. This has been a taste of the discovery of enlightenment, not the realization and experience itself. We incorporate this level of consciousness. We incorporate this sacred odyssey into our daily lives into the ordinary and mundane by initiating this discourse, by allowing this experience to occur, by regularly returning. Our consciousness is always changing, usually automatically, sometimes intentionally. Our level of consciousness largely depends on our intention and the environment. The deepest levels of consciousness rarely exist in surface-level environments. Learn to manually adjust your consciousness. Use the tools and resources around you to create your own path. A sound discourse, such as this Sacred Odyssey, is vital. In addition, intentional changes to consciousness is also vital. Learn to be silent and govern your mind. And learn to feel all the processes of your body. Use herbs and plants to change your consciousness. Study these changes. Higher consciousness is not about being perfect or trying to be perfect, whatever you consider that to be. It's about making consistent progress by noticing, exploring, enjoying, learning, and improving. Try to notice yourself morally judging or over-categorizing the things in daily life. Consistently forgive yourself and others. Finally, life, being, reality is not a game, it's not a dream, and it's not ordinary. Our species lives exclusively in our minds, the conceptual mind. That is ultimate safety. We have yearned for this for 1 billion years. That safety in our minds has been paid for by countless victims of our collective excess. We are consuming ourselves. We can't grasp reality because reality is not conceptual. Reality is above all else real. This, now, being, is the miracle of all miracles. It's time to wake up. Being awake is what matters now. We should be awake. Being awake is the rule now, not the exception. Ordinary life is the exception for us now.